Hi, today we're going to demonstrate how to plant bare root seedlings. Now, for those of you who bought seedlings from the Northern Virginia Soil and Water Conservation District seedling sale, they came packaged like this with wet newspaper inside around the roots inside a plastic bag. When you're planting these, there are three important things that you have to keep in mind. The first is you need to keep the roots moist until you get it into the ground. The second is you need to put the trunk flare at grade. That means you need to figure out where the stem stops being the above ground part and becomes the below ground part. You want that right where the top of the ground is. And the third thing is you should not amend your backfill soil. So nothing goes in that hole that you dig for these seedlings except the seedling itself, the soil that came out, and water. So when you open up your bundle, it's important to make sure you keep the roots moist. So you don't want to take all the plants out of the bundle at once. I'm going to pull the bag off here. So when we're looking for that point where the roots become, or where this trunk becomes the root system, you can see about where my finger is. You want to figure out where that is and put it in the ground at that point. You should also take a quick look at your root system and figure out how big your hole has to be. So with this, my hole needs to be wide and shallow because this is the bottom of the root system and this should be sticking out this way. Having done that, I'm going to try and rewrap it in my wet newspaper and put it back in the bag until I get my hole dug. Now I pre-dug the hole a little bit based on what I just saw. I'm going to need to make that hole a little bit wider because it's a much wider root system than I anticipated. Now what I like to do is put the shovel across the hole like this, so I know the bottom of the shovel is roughly equal to the grade. So here is the seedling, and like I said, the shovel should be roughly equal to the grade, and there is the root flare right at the base. And we can just start putting the soil back in. One trick is to take some water and pour it on that soil. Try and create a slurry that'll help settle it out. So you can see I can push down a little bit harder. Notice I'm just pressing. You see a lot of people who, when they are planting trees, get up and stomp on the hole, and you don't want to do that because that's going to compact the roots or the soil around the root system. If you're planting like out in the yard, you would use leaf mulch or wood mulch, but since we're kind of on the edge of the forest, I'm just going to cover up the soil with these leaves, and they will decompose and provide some nutrients for it. So that's how you plant a bare root seedling.